Oh boy, I got this fancy new MMO. I hear it's great, and I'm looking forward to having so much fun. But I have questions. What are all these? What's all this in character creation? What's their point? What's the best way to set up my hotbar and HOD? How difficult is it to get to the endgame stuff? What's that? Who's staring at me through my window? Why is there a gun? Is the gun loaded? Oh. All these things will be going over now. But first, the is it too late to start question MMOs always seem to get. Short answer, no. Long answer, no. This game has numerous ways to quickly catch up in gear and be ready to do endgame stuff. You can always, easily, at any time, catch up. There never was and never will be, fingers crossed, a too late to start playing. The best time for you to possibly start playing the game? Whenever you want. Which, if you're watching this, I'm assuming is probably now. So let's talk about some stuff in character creation. Data centers. So the first thing the game will want you to do is select a data center. Basically just pick the one that is closest to you geographically. Now, I can't speak for what the European and Japanese data centers are like. The only thing I know about the Europe ones is that Moogle is the unofficial Baguette server and that Shiva is the unofficial Lederhosen server. As for the North American ones, Aether. This is the data center that I am on. Thus, clearly the one everyone who watches my stuff will avoid. It's pretty nice here. People are awesome. Primal. I honestly don't hear anything about this data center, so I can't even make jokes about it. It exists. And Crystal. Crystal. More like Crystal Meth. The server. Wanna RP? They got you. Wanna ERP? They really got you. Ulda Inn on Balmung is a strange place. If you're coming from World of Warcraft, just think Goldshire on Moongod. Jokes aside though, all the servers are fantastic. All the servers have every kind of person you can think of if you look for them. They all have great people who will make great friends. So what is actually the most important thing to pick here? Pick the server with the world your friends are on. Have no friends? Then just pick whatever. This is just the group of people you'll be able to play and interact with in the game. However, next patch, they're going to allow you to play with everyone on your data center. So this selection will mean even less. So now that you've selected the server, let's start making a character. A character that you get to stare at and play dress up with. First thing you're gonna do is pick your race and gender. Don't know what to pick? Don't worry, I got you. Shameless self-promotion. Please be aware though that with Endwalker, the male Viera will be released, and a little bit after that they'll also be releasing the female Hrothgar. But that's the one I want to play. Should I just wait for them? Up to you, but you can start right now and Fantasia into one later. We'll be touching on what Fantasia is at the very end of the section. After you've decided to be basic, by selecting female Makote like half the game's population, you'll get to pick your clan. What are these? Oh, I see they have different starting stats. Are these important? Short answer, all of this is just lore. The two clans do appear slightly different. You can look at that in my race video. Yeah, more self-promotion. As for the attributes, outside of very low levels, the difference is utterly meaningless. At the end game, you'll have thousands of points in your attributes, so pay these no mind. Now we get to the point you'll be spending the next 4 hours of gameplay. Your character appearance. Go ahead, Make your pink-haired, max-bust, bushy-tailed Makote with face option free. It'll be very unique. My only real word of advice here, maybe quickly look up on YouTube a preview for what the voice selections sound like. Your character will be making combat noises, so you're gonna be hearing it a lot. Make sure you don't hate it. Also, make sure to try out a few of the lighting options down here. It gives you a better idea of what you'll look like in game, as the default background has a blue light to it. Next up, Name Day. This exists solely for roleplay purposes. It has zero bearing in the game. It's just the in-game world version of months. Pick whatever you like. Next up, your god. Wow, this must be very important. Well, my little Sunny D, no. Not anymore anyway. These guys used to give you different elemental resistances, but that was removed forever ago. Now it's just more roleplay stuff. Have a quick read, or maybe some more self-promote? Or just pick the one you think has the best symbol. This choice only shows up in two places in the game. Firstly, if you decide to get married, it's the symbol that will appear at your wedding. Secondly, it'll appear in your character window. That's it. Currently, they serve no other purpose in game. Next up, your class. Please be aware that class in this game means baby job. All of these will evolve into a job at level 30, which are direct upgrades. You should not be a class after level 30. Now, at the bottom left here is the city you will be starting in, and it is completely dependent on what starting class you pick. All that means is that the first 15 levels you'll have a different story from the other two stories. It'll also show up in your character window. Wait a second, I hear you say. Where's the other jobs in the game? I wanted to be a red mage. I'm glad I asked. In Final Fantasy XIV, you can be every job on every character. Wait a second. On a single character. So you'll be able to use jobs not shown here when you unlock them. So if you ever find that you just don't like the job you're playing, don't worry. Just go pick up another one, level it up, and carry on your adventures. Next up, selecting your world. So a very important selection here. Do you already have in-game friends? Make sure to pick the world they're on. That way you can join their free company. Think of this as their guild. But the world is not accepting any more new characters. Yeah, that's one of the annoyances in this game. You can do two things about this. One is pick another world. This game has a world visit system, so even if you're not on the same world, you can still go hang out and do quests with your friends. Though you won't be able to join their free company, and it'll have quite a number of other inconveniences. So I'd advise option 2. Wait until the world opens up for new characters. This often happens when at 8 peak hours. Show how dedicated you are to your friends by logging in at 3 AM to make your character. I have no friends. You have me. Aww. But yeah, this selection is then quite a lot easier for you. Look for the world that has this star next to it. You will be picking this world. Why? Because of this. Experience bonuses are currently being granted to all new players created on this world. What does that mean? You get a 100% experience bonus to everything up to level 70. Everything! Normally, experience bonuses are only applied to things you kill. This is everything. I cannot understate how strong this buff is. This buff lasts 90 days after your character is created or until the gold star is removed from the world, whichever happens last. Now for your final step, the name. Be creative, be funny, be lore friendly, be whatever, this is you after all. Once you've named yourself Snuggle Struggle, and I'm so happy and surprised this name was available, you'll start your adventuring in this wonderful world. Now, if at any point you're not happy with your character, you do have two options. Option 1, if it's a minor thing, try first visiting the esthetician when you unlock him. He can change things like hair color, eyebrows, face paint and such. If on the other hand it's a big thing you don't like about your character, height or voice or race or skin color, you racist, you'll have to purchase a Fantasia from the online store. Though please note that you do get one of these for free when you finish the base game story. Just remember, the first hit's always free.
This is crack.
So you've made your character, you're excited to get going and make some friends, so let's finish this off with some small pieces of advice that'll make your time here more enjoyable. Your HUD. Now, obviously, set this up however you like. Everyone has their own idea of the ideal HUD, and I'm certain yours will be a lot different from mine. But here's some general advice that will actually make you better at the game. Immediately select this box, click on this cogwheel, and turn on display target info independently. This will split the HUD element into more tiny boxes that you get to move around. Why is this important? Because you want to move this option, the target info progress bar, somewhere very obvious on your screen. Maybe make it bigger. This here is where whatever you are targeting's cast bar is displayed. So when you're fighting a boss, this will show you the boss's cast. Seriously, it'll help you a lot in situational awareness when you've got 1,000 different things happening on your screen. Second, all jobs are designed to have a maximum of 3 hotbars of buttons. So make sure you have 3 hotbars set up with key shortcuts. The rest of the hotbars, maybe have a huge one with important cooldowns as a reminder to press them when they're coming off cooldown. The rest of the HUD stuff, put them wherever you like. You'll be coming back here and moving things around as you get further into the game anyway. Now with all that out of the way, what do you do now? So, see this here? Top left of the screen? Assuming you haven't moved it. This is the most important thing in the entire game. This is the main story. Nearly everything is locked behind doing this. You need to do it. Dungeons, trials, raids, big boy raids, bigger boy raids, biggest boy raids, all of them are locked behind this. It also happens to be the best way to level your job. It gives a huge amount of experience. And if you have the road to 70 buff from selecting a preferred world, you will very easily get enough experience from this alone to level 2 jobs, maybe even 3 with very little effort. Also, see this teeny tiny text below it? This is your class's specific quest. You need to do these to unlock certain skills and to eventually grow into a job. Please do these. They are incredibly important. You are gimping your power by not doing them, and will be quite a burden to others if you don't get these done. But I just want to endgame. Why would I want to play the game I am paying money for? Good question. For those who are adamant in not playing through the story in this very story-driven game, you have 2 options. Option 1, and what I would personally advise against, is paying more money to not play the game you are paying money to play. You can purchase a story skip from the online store, though please be aware that this will not level your character. So now you either have to grind up levels or pay more money for a level skip. You will still have to play through the current expansion levels and story though. That is level 70 to 80 and Shadowbringers at the time of this recording. Option 2, and what I would advise for those people, just skip through all the dialogue and skip through the cutscenes. It'll go by actually surprisingly fast, and you will still get all that sweet EXP. Just think of it as doing the leveling grind, but it's such an insanely efficient way to level that you'll have multiple jobs ready when you hit the end game. Quest icons and their meanings. This icon is for side stories and a pittance of EXP. A few of them unlock very small things like maybe a minion, but don't worry too much about them. You can safely ignore these. This icon is a important quest. Pick these up and eventually do them at your leisure. They will unlock something when you finish it. A dungeon, a raid, a job, whatever. You should eventually do every single one of these quests. And to close this off, finding Final Fantasy XIV friends for fantastic fun-fueled stuff. Do it exactly how you do it in real life. Find someone weaker than you, force them into your car, then go on adventures with them.
Never talk to strangers, that's very good advice. 'Cause you just can't tell if they're good or bad, even though they may seem nice. Don't get in their car. No. Don't take anything from them. No. Just turn around and walk away.
You gotta actually put yourself out there. Talk to folks, be social, go to events, keep joining and leaving free companies until you find one that feels right to you. Try the recruitment Reddit, try the community finder, try sitting in people's houses until they come home, then lock eye contact with them to establish a bond. But yeah, just keep trying and just keep having fun. And with that, I'll bring this video to a close. I hope this helps some folks get started, and I do hope I got most of the questions people ask about the creator and what to do when they start the game. If you have any more questions, please let me know. But for now, goodbye my friends, and have a great day.
Boom.